Hello and welcome back to CNN. Breaking news: this peace has finally been officially restored to Cuba. The new Cuban president, Manuel has finally been elected. Cuban hero Fidel Castro had publicly approved highly of Manuel previously to the election. With Cuba finally coming out of its war and into times of growth and prosperity, the team here at CNN has created a summary of events to celebrate and shed some light upon this revolution. First, here are some of the head Cuban leaders in the revolution. Fidel Castro, the rebel leader who started the revolution. Che Guevara, another leader in the revolution. And Fulgencio Batista, the Cuban dictator at the time. Now to the major points. The Cuban Revolution was first beginning in 1952 when Fidel Castro started a petition to overthrow the Cuban leader, Fulgencio Batista, accusing him of corruption and tyranny. When Castro's argument was rejected by the Cuban judicial system, he began to gather his own rebel army to fight Fulgencio Batista. On July 26, 1953, Castro's army attacked the Moncada barracks in both Santiago and in Bayamo. After the battle, the remaining rebel survivors, including Castro and his brother Raul Castro Ruz, were captured. Castro was sentenced to 15 years in prison, and Raul to 13. In 1955, due to political pressure, Batista released all political prisoners in Cuba, including Castro and Raul. On March 13, 1957, a separate group called the Anti-Communist Revolutionary Directorate mobbed the presidential palace in Havana in an attempt to kill Batista. Many of the rebels were shot down by Batista's soldiers. Following this event, the U.S. declared an economic embargo on Cuba and withdrew their ambassador. Batista attempted to keep control of Cuban cities by using violent force to keep citizens in line. Castro successfully staged many attacks upon groups of Batista's men in the Sierra Maestra Mountains. In February 1958, a radio station called Rebel Radio was set up so that Castro and his followers could spread their message nationwide. Batista's army was greatly weakened by a U.S. arms embargo. Batista could not acquire more weapons or repair his air force. In response to Castro's attacks on the Sierra Maestra Mountains, Batista sent an army of 12,000, many of which were untrained recruits, to attack Castro's forces. In many small skirmishes, Castro continued to triumph. In the Battle of Las Mercedes, Castro's army of 300 was pinned down by vastly outnumbering forces. He asked Batista for a ceasefire and received it. During the 7 days of ceasefire, he continued to negotiate while his army slowly edged away. By the end of the ceasefire, Castro's army had escaped. On August 21, 1958, Castro branched out his leaders to meet with leaders of other rebel movements around the country. Gaining huge support as the combining forces continued their search for more rebel forces, many large rebel armies were formed. In multiple attacks, rebel groups stormed through cities including Santa Clara and Cienfuegos. After hearing about the captured cities, Batista fled to the Dominican Republic. Castro then entered the cities of Havana and Santiago without military opposition. Castro's initial choice of president, Manuel has taken office today, January 3, 1959. President Leo plans to improve general Cuban health, employment, and education as his first actions as president.